Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing today? If you guys are getting an echo, let me know because I'm getting a really like terrible echo here. So, wow, that is a deafening echo. Wow. Yeah. Just let me just try to sort this out here for a second. Shh, calm down. Can you guys still hear me? If you guys can hear me, let me know. Also, thank you, Jacob, for the help. There you go. Yeah, I had to turn off the speakers. I think they were the cause for that. Morning, Osby. How's it going, man? And morning, Jacob. Morning, everyone. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Uh, we have been having a very good morning so far. Morning, Angelique. I'm so happy you got to join us today. Um, yeah, everything's looking, pretty bullish. I'll walk you guys through what happened. Yes, all since the morning here, but let me just try to get the background music back on if possible. Let's see here, music system. Oh, yeah, pretty much anything with with the not any volume. I don't think we can do the background music today. I'll sort it out later. Doesn't matter. Anyway, puts on Meta. Wow, starting out strong today. Let's have a look at Meta. But first, let's have a look at the market and how it's doing. So, if any of you were up in the morning, let's have a look here at the futures. And if any of you guys were up, you would have known that the market opened with a huge spike. We're up 1%. We didn't even get to this high so far today. Straight buying, lots of buying, and of course throughout the day, thanks to China, UK, and Germany and the Eurozone in general, PMI numbers came out pretty bad, and yeah, the market just died. This here is exactly where the UK, which was the last one, numbers came out, and then we started immediately rallying since then. Now we do have the US numbers coming out 15 minutes after the open, so that's around that's around 25 minutes from now, so pretty soon. This is probably why we're seeing consolidation here. I'm not bullish or bearish on anything yet. I don't think it is time yet to be bullish or bearish on anything, to be honest with you guys. We can expect the unexpected with the market. You guys know how it is, right? Like, you guys have seen these things play out, so I'm happy with my money. I did some scalping on the futures. We did okay here, and we did okay on the options account as well. So I'm not gonna do anything stupid here. I'm just gonna stay. I'm gonna wait for the PMI to play out, and then I'm gonna buy. I'm gonna start buying. Also, keep in mind we have a bunch of cash here. Name of the game for me this week specifically is hoarding cash. I want to hoard as much cash as I possibly can after these earnings, whether they're bad or good. It does not matter. But like, that will be behind us now. The earnings crush scare that we had, that will be behind us, right? And then we can do a little more shopping like this, so we can buy a bit of like a few swings, depending on how the market goes, or we can short the living hell out of the market if everything crashes, right? But one way or the other, we're gonna do some serious shopping. So I'm just gonna wait it out. I'm gonna take scalps here and there. Basically, the goal here is to grow my cash pile as much as I possibly can. So I'm gonna be very careful. Let's see who we have here. Anel says, morning. Good morning to you, my good friend. How's everything? Jay Smooth says, let's fucking go. Well, let's go, baby. Yeah. Great morning today, guys. Great morning. All right, so let's see here. Meta. A lot of people in the Discord also been talking about Meta. Why is everyone hating on Meta? I think really the whole like Meta stuff and all the hate that they've been getting, this is very overblown. I think, like, okay, maybe not now, maybe in 5-10 years or so, but like, it's gonna be like something to reckon with. Everything will be, VR or AR. Like, trust me on that, guys. Like, it's this is the technology of the future. Maybe it won't be Facebook who gets us there, but we're getting there one way or the other. This is definitely gonna be like the way of the future. So, you never know. Alrighty. So, let's see what we got here. We have well, nothing. I mean, this is pretty much consolidating, right, guys? So if we look at the 1 hour, you know, let's see what we got here. Uh, well, I mean, it's a horrible downtrend, obviously. Let's look at the 1 day if we're getting anything, specific. We have a huge gap here. Yeah, there is no way in hell this gap fills. It has to be like beyond fantastic earnings. This is 100%, 100 point move. That's what 70%. Yeah, no way in hell. Like we get this gap filled. Not for years. They're gonna need a lot of like, a lot of working, to get back to where they were. On the other hand, though, if they drop, what is the upside, right? So like this is what we want to look at, guys. Like what is the risk and reward, right? So if we're gonna risk money, we want to have a decent reward. So where's the next support here for Meta? It'll be right here, right under it. Not too much. Let's see. It will be around 113.9. Let's call it 114. So that will be at the current price, 130. Okay, that's not bad. A 16-point drop. 16-point drop. Yeah, that would be like 10% or so. Not bad. Hmm. Yeah, we might take some Meta. Yeah, I do think they'll miss, honestly. Like I do agree with Angelique and everyone else. Like it does seem like it probably will be a miss. To be honest with you guys, like if I mean Snap is not any sort of indicator if we're being honest here, but like as far as how everyone has been doing, they've been like barely not missing. So it's not really, like a great sign. But honestly, the guys who barely beat and have decent guidance, they've been doing really well as well. So this is why I'm gonna probably just not play earnings as much as I possibly can because they have been like extremely unpredictable, right? Things that miss run and things that beat fall, like it's the name of the game when it comes to earnings. Very unpredictable. It's basically gambling, right? Like it's a 50-50 shot, no matter how much DD you do. So, I'm probably gonna skip a few of them unless like something is like has a very big, risk to reward potential. In that case, I might, throw a few. We have here, by the way, SPY futures up for 40%, 0.4%, and we have the Nasdaq almost red. Nasdaq is very tech heavy. That tells me the tech is not looking very hot right now, right? With 4 minutes to the open, let's have a look at QQQ. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, there you go. Zero point 0.9. How's the SPY doing? Zero point 0.4. Yeah, they're pretty much matching, right? Because you can consider Nasdaq futures as sort of the, QQQ futures, if you will, because it's very tech heavy. So, yeah, tech is not doing so well. Who is pulling us down? Better not be AMD. Oh, AMD. AMD was up 1% at some point today, but I lost most of it. All right, I mean, like, still in our range. Starting to get boring, stuck in that range, but it is what it is. We just have to wait out the earnings that are going to come out this week, right? Nvidia reports way after everyone. I think like later, like mid-November or something like that. They're one of the last big companies to report. So they're up 0.3%. So it's not the semis, right? Intel, Nvidia, AMD doing kind of decent. Tesla, oh my God. The fuck, Tesla? Why are you down 3.5%? And it's not just now. Like it opened and fell down 3. What the hell is wrong with Tesla? Damn. Come on, Elon, get your shit together, man. You can't keep it. Come on. There's probably people freaking out about the funding, right? So I've heard this rumor though, which is pretty damn exciting. If it is like Elon Musk is genius, basically this his whole support of Russia and hating on Ukraine and everything, he's looking for to get the government to basically ban his or block the sale of Twitter to him because he's not going to be very friendly to the government. I've seen rumors swirling about that. Everyone calling Elon doing 4D chess, if you will. Wow, we're almost down 4%. Tesla's looking very bad. This is a level to keep an eye on here at the open. You see these 3 points. Ouch, ugly, ugly. Wow, these 3 touch points here. Yeah, we break this, and if it doesn't break right now, because like this Tesla looks very weak, this can be a nice scalp here. 2 points down, right, from 205.7 all the way to 203.5. That's a quick, easy scalp. Uh, let's see here. What about puts on Intel for earnings? Let's have a look at Intel. Intel. Where's Intel? Intel is a semis. There you go. Nice curl up here. Yeah, I mean, like, it would be good idea. Probably Intel will mess. I mean, like, if AMD missed that bad, it stands to reason that like both Nvidia and Intel will miss. The only question is like how bad the numbers really are for AMD. The earnings for Intel are on the 27th. That's 3 days away. I think AMD reports Wednesday. I would wait to see what happens with AMD first, to be honest with you. Because if things are not as bad as people think they are, then like they'll probably run. Because if you look, like, this is the 1 day chart here for Intel, it's probably gonna be the same way for AMD. There you go. It's the same. So, like, a loss is priced in, right? Like, people already priced in, Intel missing earnings. So, since we have AMD first, let's see here if we do have AMD first. Oh, we don't. Actually, it's the 1st of November. Well, in that case, yeah, I mean, like, try your luck with puts. I'm not gonna play it because I think it's priced in. I don't see a very big move here, to be honest. I could be wrong. Uh, if this breaks, the next level of support here on Intel is 49, so that could be a decent move down, or it could get stuck here in this chop. In all cases, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see how Intel does, and based on that, I'm gonna buy either AMD puts or calls for the earnings, to be honest with you. Jeff says here, Tesla down due to them cutting EV price in China. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. That's a hit for Tesla. That makes sense. That was a very big drop. I thought people were overreacting. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for the heads up. Thinking of a calendar put. It wouldn't be bad. Again, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna play it safe here. I'm gonna see what Intel does. I'm just gonna copy that, right? For AMD and probably Nvidia as well. Uh, I mean, like, we have a possible easy play here, right? Like, it's kind of like cheating. So I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna take the easy way out. I don't care. All right. So let's see our SPY here. SPY opening. Whoops. All right, we have way too many lines on this. I think we're gonna need to remove a few of these soon. That's a lot of lines. So let's see here what our opening looks like. So opening on the downside a little bit, that's expected. Probably might go red here. Probably just like end up basing around here, this area where we've been basing after hours yesterday. Again, we do have in 14 minutes PMI numbers. Everyone is waiting for those. So Astronaut in the Discord said, like, drop and then probably a run on the numbers release. I think it will probably be the same thing, to be honest. This also can explain the VIX being extremely elevated, right? So we see here VIX up 2.9%. Wow, 2.5. That's a big candle right there, right? Almost 2.4%. So that makes sense because, market is, there's volatility. There's probably a lot of people hedging, buying SPY puts, right? That makes sense. Either people they want to play the PMI numbers or they're just worried about the PMI numbers, right? So again, I can't buy anything here in this account for today. I'm kind of stuck. So I'm gonna be calling out some plays here as I see them. But for the most part, I'll be doing futures if I play something, and that's an if, right? So let's see here. Why is F bumping? Let's see what Ford is up to. Ford, where the hell is Ford? There you go. 1.8%. Big fat candles. Huh, interesting. Let's find out why the hell is Ford bumping. $ F, enter. Let's see if we got anything juicy. Nice print, blah, blah, blah. Most active. EV sales are getting hotter. These cars are catching up in Tesla. Okay. Straddle. Watching. I don't see any news. Yeah, I'm not seeing any news here on Ford. Probably people buying for the earnings, I guess, if they didn't have earnings yet. So let's find out if they have earnings. Let's go to the 1 day here. They have earnings on the 27th. Yeah, that's 3 days away. So probably people are expecting a beat for Ford, and they're probably getting in unless I missed something. So let's see here what Meta is doing. Meta is thinking. Meta. Ooh, 4%. Ugly. Very ugly. Well, I tried to help you, Meta, but yeah, this is ugly. This would be the line here to look at. This big drop here. 124.6. And you have all the way down to 122.85. This could be a nice scalp here, right? This could be a nice little play. So it will be these lows here that we touched twice. We could play this, puts here in this area if it keeps holding up. By the way, guys, Netflix passed the 200 MA, right? So for those of you who wanted to know when to get in, Netflix just crossed the 200 MA. Probably gonna go back for the retest. Probably, not likely. Nothing is sure, of course. Probably will go back and retest here. This might be a good entry for the gap fill if the 200 MA holds, right? So just something to keep in mind here. Let's see here. Tesla, horrible, -5%. NIO, whoa, NIO so bad. Did they miss earnings or something? No. Wow. I mean, makes sense. EV cut in China. So yeah, NIO is gonna be very affected. Wow, that is a very bad number. Let's see here. Everything else a little red, not too red. We have Meta, mostly very red. We have Twitter actually going up a little. Looks like the odds of deal closing is getting higher. And semis not doing so hot, not doing so bad. -1%, -1.4% here. Yeah, it looks like tech is not doing well at all today, guys. That being said, though, the SPY is up. Probably banks pulling it up. Let's have a quick look here. So we're pretty far from the 21 MA, 50 MA, 200 MA. So we don't have to worry about those for a little while here. On the 5-hour chart, on the 5-minute chart, though, we just crossed the 50 MA and we just crossed the 21 MA. Probably beat that, testing that. Good time. Just have a look here and see the banks. Yeah, banks all green. All the banks are green here. Again, they all had their earnings passed, right? So people feel safe going in and buying them. Yeah, that's why they've been green for the past few days, and this is why you will see XLF. It's the financial sector of the SPY. This is what's mostly leading the move in the SPY here. You'll see most of the days, pretty much all these banks are very green. And this is why I recommend you guys have this arrange your stocks this way on your watch list, so you can get a quick overview of a sector very quickly, or you can just have the sector funds here, which are XLF, XLE, etc. All 12 of them. You have the range here. This way you can very quickly look at what sector is doing and what's pulling everything down. So if you have a quick look here, banks, XLF doing okay, 1% up. Energy, 0.5%. This is not good. When energy is up, stocks are down, specifically tech, right? Tech is up 0.4%. Which is the XLK. Healthcare, XLV, up 1.5%. XLY, the communications sector. This is Google, Meta, all the stuff. This is not doing well. This is basically what's pulling the SPY down for the time being, right? So you got other things here, but for now we're gonna go back to our SPY. But if you guys are interested, you can just go back to the video once it's done and add these stickers. Very useful. SPY here, big ass green candle, right? Looking very nice. Up 0.08, looking very good here, right? So we have the PM highs. Again, these are always levels. You guys remember, these are always levels we look at, right? So we have the PM highs, which are 378.2, and the PM lows, which are 375. No, that's actually the open. The PM lows will be right here. Yep. Well, actually, it's 375.2. So we did test the PM lows, and we just this was a hard rejection. Violent run up, right? So this is a good sign if you're bullish. Again, I really wouldn't recommend you take any swings now. You can scalp if you want. But I would just wait for the PMI numbers. Although so far things are looking pretty bullish despite Tesla, pulling the market down, despite Meta, just going absolutely bonkers. Uh, yeah. Also, I think Meta reports what tomorrow, I think, right? Let's just have a double check here. Yeah, 26, day after tomorrow, right? So again, this is probably in preparation of you know, the earnings. Looks like people are not, I mean, very bullish on it, just like you guys are not. So it's probably that. Netflix here, testing the 200 MA on the 5 minute, rebounded. Again, keep an eye on the 1 day chart for Netflix, guys. If someone is looking here for an entry to play this gap fill up, and this gap will fill up if the market is green for the next week or two, then definitely this gap will fill, right? We're just like, we're working our way up there. Netflix has been pretty strong. It's just taking a breather now. Don't forget, this is the 1 day chart, and the RSI it was actually overbought here. So it makes sense if we go down here, test the 200 MA. If you see this hold, I would say this is a good entry. You can get in now an average if you like. I would recommend patience, mostly to see what the market is doing, because it is going to need the market's help a little bit to move. If the market is red, it's probably not going to be moving, right? So it'll probably go back, retest the 200 MA, and bounce off it to fill the gap here, right, at around 330, right? So this could be, if you missed the 10 bagger here, you can get the 10 bagger here. So this is a possible play here, right? So let's see how our SPY is doing. 0.7 looks like it pulled back a little bit. Let's go back here to our 5 minute chart, and yeah, pull back a little bit here. Looks like it's struggling with this resistance 377.5. Again, so far it's stuck here in the middle, which is to be expected because A, it's the opening. This is how usually the openings go, and B, the PMI numbers, right? So the PMI numbers are released by the S&P, the same company actually that manages the index, the S&P index, right? So they're gonna release the PMI number, the produces excuse me guys for 1 minute please. I'll be right back. Oh man, that feels so good. Sorry guys, had to visit the little boy's room. Second best feeling, third best feeling in the world. All right, so let's see here. Again, we're still struggling here. You see these big candles, these very volatile moves. It's a good time to turn on our volume, and let's compare it. Again, you see here, this is very deceiving. You see these big candles, these big wild moves. This usually happens when there's too much volume or way too little volume, right? So so this might be deceiving. You might think this is a lot of volume, but you compare here to this open here, and you will see the volume is lower than average, right? So we are getting these big moves because there is no players in the market. Probably everyone is just waiting for the PMI in a few minutes, right? So it's in 3 minutes, so either people are getting out in preparation or getting in preparation, or mostly like me, just waiting, right? So, all right, so let's load up here. What's his face? Della Tone. There you go. Walter Bloomberg, right? So he's usually pretty quick to report on stuff. He hasn't reported anything on October 13. Shame on you, bro. Shame on you. All right, so we're just gonna rely on the home feed to get this. Usually the S&P themselves put out the the numbers they tweeted, so we're gonna know pretty quick here. But till then, we're just gonna keep an eye on things here. So it looks tempting again, but like, look at this, guys. Like, look at this here. Like, where do you take the trade? How do you take the trade, right? So it's right under 200 MA, right? So you can see a breakdown here, and there isn't much volume supporting it. And at the same time, I can see a bounce and going off here. So this could be an excellent buying or selling point. So, you know, again, I would just wait. Tesla and Meta dying. Wow. Okay. I mean, they're the wow. Ugly. Ugly. Wow, this is bad. And looks like Meta is starting to Tesla's starting to form a little bit of a bear flag here. I wouldn't call this a bear flag yet. But this does not look good here. It does seem to be holding this 203.5 level a little bit, which if you guys remember, it bounced off really hard off before. So that can be get Neo. Holy moly. Wow, that is ugly. Wow, Neo, very bad. Uh Meta. Let's just see Meta before we see what Spy is doing. Ugh, disgusting. Again, hitting that point again. Again, guys, I would keep an eye on this. I would keep an eye on the 124.6 level. If it breaks, we can see 122.8. It could be a nice quick scalp there. That could be a little nice play. Just keep an eye on it. So let's go back to Spy here and see if Spy wants to tell us anything. So Spy still holding the 50 MA. Got a little nice little jump here. I think 3, 4, 5. The numbers should be out now, and I don't know. Looks like they're good. Yeah, looks like they're good so far. I mean, I can't tell much without seeing them. If anyone knows the numbers, by the way, guys, feel free to throw them in the chat. PMI is great. Thank you, Angelique. Do you have the actual numbers for us, please? If you can, that'd be super helpful. All right, so it looks like the market is still digesting it so far. I don't know what the numbers are, but they do look like Angelique said are great. Looks like people are pretty happy with the numbers here so far. Again, these initial reactions can be deceiving, so until you actually read the numbers yourself, I would recommend, trading based on the numbers, which I do not have. So let me just put in this here, US PMI. See if we get something here. Okay, so 49.9, expected 51. Last was 52. US services PMI 46.6, expected 49. Okay, so these are great numbers, and even though these are misses, why are these great numbers, guys? Is because this is what the Fed is looking for. The Fed wants to crush demand, right? So this is the manufacturer index, right? So if they're not providing it, they're not producing enough, right? Again, it's the same deal. So this is good. This is what Jay Powell was looking for. Maybe he takes it a little bit easy on us, I guess, but we'll have to see. Again, I don't think anything really matters when it comes to macroeconomical data unless we actually hear what he says about the pivot. I don't think anyone cares about anything until we get the actual news whether we're gonna pivot or not, right? So I'm gonna jump in quickly here to see if I can get a trade if possible. I would love a little pullback here to this area. That would be very nice if I can. Okay, looks like we got a little fill here. And just gonna keep an eye on this. You get a little move here. Come on, baby. Run for me. Let's see here. It seems like the market is trying to run, but is unable to, which is not a particularly good sign, to be honest with you guys. You could be seeing, of course, possible selling here, people taking profits, but again, it wasn't that big a move. People take profits. So I keep an eye here on this one. It might not be the run that we're expecting it to be. So we'll see. VIX up. Yeah, there you go. Like I said, it might not be the move that we're expecting it to be. I'm not really seeing here the rush of orders, the rush in volume here that you expect. So looks like bears and bulls still trying to figure it out. They haven't made up their mind yet. So we're just gonna keep an eye on this. VIX again, you want to see VIX getting crushed now because good or bad, at least the volatility is over, right? So if you're not getting either of those, then that's not really a very good sign here. So it's starting to move up a little bit. I'm gonna place my stop right here, right? Just to be sure. I got stopped out. Screw it, who cares? Yeah, better safe than sorry. We're not really seeing a very clear move, guys, here, neither from the technicals nor the volume. The numbers were good. Again, if I was Jerome Powell, I'd be happy. But the VIX is 2% now with the SPY green. You know what happens every time we get a divergence, right? So I'm gonna just be patient here. Uh, as you guys saw, I just got out of that position. I'm gonna be patient here. I want to see a definitive move, right? So we made the high of the day here, and we have the low of the day here. So I want to see either of those break first before anything. Otherwise, I'm not taking a position. Way too risky. I'm just gonna let SPY do his thing here. I'm gonna have a quick look to see if there's any opportunities. And wow, wow, tech is just like imploding. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Yeah, it looks like the SPY is gonna probably fall. This is bad. AMD down 2.5%. Nvidia down 1.8%. That is disgusting. TSM almost 4%. Tesla still around the same. Neo still around the same. Apple starting to go a little red. Here might go and test 200 MA. That could be a possible little scalp here for you guys. Meta still around the same. Nothing. Oh, hey. Did our play work? Or yeah. Nope. Aw. Well, keep an eye. 124.6. If this breaks, we can see this. We can see 122.8. So keep an eye on this. Netflix kind of doing the same. Really looks like semis just dropped off the cliff mostly for some reason. I mean, the market is not too hot right now, but nothing out of the ordinary. Baba again is a time to consider whether like is this a good time to buy Baba calls, it dropped too much, or is it too early? Again, the drop mostly for Baba was a macroeconomical drop. So unless that issue itself is resolved, again, honestly, I wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. They're upset because of China, and China right now is extremely unstable. I don't know if you guys saw what the president did when he removed the previous president. That was a power move if I've ever seen one. Um, and all the numbers that came out today were pretty bad for China. China has GDP numbers coming out, I think Thursday or Wednesday. I wouldn't touch China for now. I would just wait it out. You can, again, is this overbought, oversold? I mean, like the RSI really speaks for itself. Like it's if it could go lower, it probably would. Like, but can it go lower? Yeah. Oh, look at here. Like at this level here, this is what the 23 on the daily, which is pretty damn low. But yeah, it went lower before. So I mean, would I buy here? The risk to reward for calls is not bad, especially if we get a beat on earnings. So you're better off getting a long-term call here. But remember, China GDP is coming out, so it's kind of, I mean, yeah, I would say honestly, like it's a little bit risky, but if you have money that you're not too afraid to lose, or you want a more riskier play but with a higher reward ratio, Baba calls actually do seem like a good idea. I'll just make sure I buy them like with the expiry after 4th of November because that's the earnings. Doesn't mean you have to wait till the earnings, you can cut before, but just so you can get that nice premium from the volatility, right? So you have, the IB on your side. Things looking all over the place here, to be honest. It looks like it's going down a little bit. Amazon, Meta turning red. Netflix going down more. Tesla going down more. Yeah, AMD, Nvidia looking pretty damn bad here. Surprisingly, Intel not so much. Interesting, right? And they do have earnings for who was ask for whoever was asking for Intel. This is very interesting when you see the whole sector down in the toilet, right? And and you just see this crazy sort of like, look at this, it's holding the 21 MA. It's not even 200 MA holding it, it's 21 MA. This is pretty damn bullish. I'm not saying they will beat, I'm just saying this looks very bullish. Could be people just getting in and expecting good things. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but just something to keep in mind if you're buying puts or calls on Intel. The whole sector is down a lot, and Intel is just went green. Just keep that in mind, right? So let's see what SPY is doing here. Doesn't seem to have been doing much, to be honest. Looks like it's right where we left it. Yeah, pretty much right where we left it. I will say again, it's holding the MAs nicely. So it definitely held the 50 MA and held the 21 MA. So that again, I would say is bullish, but it is having trouble breaking this area here. So this could be a demand a supply zone actually. That is possible. Let's see if we've had, yeah, there you go. So yeah, this is a possible supply zone. So it's a good idea to just keep an eye on this. I think if we're unable to break this area here, we'll probably see it going back down, maybe even test 200 MA. We'll see. Whatever it does, we'll be ready. If it breaks through, cool. If it doesn't, but again, I think specifically I'll be taking calls, or in my case, I'll be buying future contracts. 379.5 or the high of the day, either these one of these break, yeah, I'm going calls. If I see the low of the day, or even better, 374.7 break, and then I'm jumping in puts. I'm gonna just play it safe here. Looks very choppy today so far, very, very choppy. So excuse me, guys. Looking very choppy here, so I don't see a reason why we should risk anything here. Really could go either way. The numbers were good. Again, if I was the Fed, I'd be pretty damn happy with those numbers. Could be the market is a little bit concerned because, again, PMI numbers do relate to the supply chain itself, right? So it's a measure of the supply chain. They could be worried that there are supply chain issues. I don't think so because, again, they think they talk to supply chain managers, but it's not the measure itself, right? So I don't know. Again, I think these numbers are good. I think the market should be running. The chart looks bullish. VIX looks terrifying. This is not good, right? I do not want to be seeing this when I'm thinking about taking calls. I want to see VIX down here below the 30 line. We did expect this. We did talk about this last week. We said this is going to be a very difficult area to break through. 30 super psychological line for bears and bulls, right? So of course, the bears will defend this line with their dying breath. Of course, goes without saying. But that being said, we've seen what happens when we get diversions. We don't want to get stuck in diversions. So I'm gonna wait to see for a clear move here. I want break of highs, break of this support or resistance here. But till then, nah, I'm not interested in SPY. I don't care about SPY here. Stocks seem to be chopping as well. So again, Tesla here looks like sort of an opportunity. This area has been tested before 2 times, right? The 203.5. We've spoken about this line before, actually. We drew this line together, I think on Friday or Thursday. And this has been tested twice, and it's holding very well so far. So if this keeps holding, yeah, I expect a strong rebound of Tesla here. Probably goes back and tests 212, right? But if not, it's gonna be a very nasty drop for Tesla here, right? This is at this point becoming very strong support. 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points so far. It's not looking good. AMD Broski, how you still feeling about it? Pretty much the same. Again, I bought a lot of time for a reason. I'm not expecting AMD to make any sort of move right now. I think the move will come, if it comes. The move will come after all the earnings are done. So once everything's said is over. Like I've been saying before, the theory here is that AMD after earnings will stay in this channel. We drew this channel when it was like right around here. We added this one, and for what, since the 10th, right? That's what 14 days, 2 weeks, it's been in the channel. So far, my theory has been respected, and thus I am gonna respect my calls and keep them and not cut them, right? So far holding again. Like I said, when I bought these, as long as we're in here, I'm not worried, right? If we get a breakdown, this is what would worry me, right? And so far we've been, trying to break out, I'm failing, and trying to break down, I'm failing. One important point I noticed this morning, and for those of you who are in AMD, might want to look at, we're getting very close to test the 21 MA on the daily here. So that's gonna be, we're probably like, this is gonna keep going down here in the next few days, and it's probably gonna go touch it. Remember, 1st of November is the earnings, and if we look at the hourly, yes, there you go. Uh, you have here on the hourly the 200 MA test, right? So 200 MA is a very, very important level on higher time frames, and it usually begets very violent reactions. As we saw here, this is a very strong rejection off the 200 MA. Not a good sign, not a bad sign also, but definitely not a bullish sign. So in order for AMD to be making any kind of moves, is gonna need to clear 200 MA. And if this is the only thing other than trading outside this channel, if I see AMD unable to break through the 200 MA, then I'm out. I'm done, right? Because it's the same. It's the Netflix situation here, right? Netflix is the same deal. If you go to the 1 day, again, all I'm looking for is for this to hold, right? It can go down here as much as it wants, right? 200 MA is 276, even better, right? I have cash now. I can go for calls tomorrow, right? I want it to go down. I want it to retest the 200 MA, and I want to see it holding, and I want to see a good bounce off it. If I get a nice clean bounce off it, I'm getting on calls, right? Thank you, right? So look at Baba. I think we just did. It's nice gap here on the daily, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, it's just dying again. Nothing really changed. Like I said, extremely oversold, extremely oversold. I don't. Baba under 60 puts dollar. Nice. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations. Uh, I wouldn't get into puts starting now. I think the bulk of the move already happened, right? So if you're like Cizian here who already has puts, then congratulations. I don't see the risk reward here. I mean, guys, just think about this logically. This is the daily. This is not the 5 minute. This is not the hourly. This is the daily. The RSI is 23. That is not oversold. That is extremely oversold, right? With a huge gap above it, and we have earnings coming up. I don't know, like it's down 17% in 1 days. Like, how further do you expect it to go down? Can it go down more? Sure, of course. Like we said here, the RSI has been lower, right? But really, how much? 1% more, 2% more? Where will you place your stop? Again, like, do you really want to be risking this much for that little? Baba, like, again, look at this. This is an all-time low for the stock, right? Literally an all-time low. I would say all-time low. Probably a lot of people have orders waiting here to be filled, right? I can see going down to 58, right? 57, that range. But I don't know, guys. I like all-time low, very, very significant level. And remember, we spoke about this and what happens with very significant levels. They will never break on the first try. And if they do, you can expect a very strong bounce, right? Major levels, they have to be tested and retested a bunch of times. So, uh, hey, maybe it drops more. All I'm saying is the risk to reward ratio is not there. I don't see the play. It could happen. It's just too risky of a play for me, right? So at least this is my 2 cents, right? So none of this is financial advice. Of course, you guys are welcome to do whatever you want. I don't do everything right, so feel free to use best judgment. Let's see here. Spy Jeff, looks like Jeff jumped in puts. My good man Jeff is wishing for the SPY today. Let's see here. SPY still chopping again around here. Very big candle though. Very big bearish candle here on the SPY. Will it finally do it? Will we break the low of the day? Where will break the 347? Again, these are things that I'm looking for before I start shorting futures here. I want to see some sort of movement that gives me some insight. This so far it's chop. Anytime I would have entered here, I would have probably lost money, right? So this is not telling me anything. This is neither bearish nor bullish. This is just chop. It's not so good. Interesting. The XY is 92. Jeff. Oh, Jeff is JKG98. How you doing, my man? Very happy to see you join us for the live chat. I really do like our chats on the Discord. Very happy you're able to join us on the live chat. Welcome, a good friend. Let's have a look at the dollar index. How's it doing? Oh, nice. By the way, when the future account grows, guys, once we start amassing more cash here, I'm probably gonna I'm gonna start building a very big short position in the dollar, right? So I'm gonna make a video on something called the dollar milkshake theory, and I don't think it's gonna play out, to be honest. I think the dollar is gonna get a big hit soon. I don't think this is sustainable. I don't think we're gonna keep going up forever. I think 95 is coming, right? This is the main level a lot of people think it will go back down to. I don't know. In my opinion, this seems pretty unsustainable to me. This is too much for too long, and we're getting some consolidation here. Like at absolute worst, I expected to test the 50 MA, but honestly, I think once we lose the 50 MA, 200 MA is coming very quick, right? Look at this. Like this has been acting as an area of value for a very long time, right? This is an area of demand and keeps getting bought up, right? The 21 MA, the 50 MA. We lose the 50 MA, we're gone for good. And there is so many factors, specifically the Fed's pivot once they start lowering rates instead of or just stopping rates altogether or maintaining them. The dollar is going to take a massive hit. So I think like if you guys have the money for it, if you guys are into futures or forex, at least my opinion, I'm gonna start building a very decently sized dollar position here. I'm gonna average into it. I'm not gonna go all in one go. We can expect to see the dollar rise up a little bit. Depending on if the Fed gives us 275 points instead of just 175 point. But my thinking is that this is unsustainable. This is very unsustainable. Anywho, let's see what Mr. Spy is doing, right? I mean, I'd really like to take a play here before we go off stream. Like, this is pretty damn boring. Like, okay, look, finally, at least the Spy is dying. That's something. Okay, so we're gonna keep an eye on it here. Let's see. We can short this. We can short the bottom of this candle, right? Because that will be the low of the day, right? So low of the day breaks, can expect a further fall here. I'll probably drag down the SPY here to 372, right? That's reasonable. Let's see here what the VIX is doing. Ouch, VIX 3%. VIX is just going absolute bonkers. Man, VIX does not give a fuck. Wow. AMD down 3.5%. That's definitely not good. Just pulling the whole sector down with it. Tesla not doing well. NIO. Wow, NIO is down 20% now. That is just disgusting. That is very bad at this point. Apple surprisingly holding strong. Why am I even surprised at this point? Apple is Apple, right? Apple does not care what the market does. Look at this chart. Look at this. Goddamn Apple, man. Wow. Meta again still stuck in the same range, not down to Amazon down. Amazon moved some. There you go. Amazon just recently moved. So that's something. Microsoft surprisingly green with everything that's going on. Again, Microsoft I think reports tomorrow. Looks like people are pretty damn bullish on Microsoft. And looks like they're bullish on Intel too, I guess. But again, I wouldn't just base my calls off this. This is not a good idea to place to place your calls for earnings. But honestly, with earnings, it's as good a strategy as any because it's 50-50 at the end of the day. Why is NIO getting nailed? My friend, because China GDP pretty bad, China numbers China PMI pretty bad. Their numbers overall are pretty bad, and they just announced. Someone here mentioned in the chat that they announced. I don't know EV cuts, right? So they're not gonna support EVs as much as they used to before. So of course that's gonna hurt the bottom line for EV companies. NIO is a 100% Chinese company, so of course it's gonna get affected more than Tesla. So that's why NIO is down that much. Netflix cremated. No, I think you missed the analysis we had here. But I'm gonna give it to you again, Angelique. So again, like we were saying, we expect Netflix to go back down here. We want because it just broke through the 200 MA, so it's gonna retest at this time as support instead of resistance. And if it holds, this will be our entry for calls. So in case you missed it, Angelique, that is the play here for Netflix. So I wouldn't say cremated. This is healthy pullback that is expected. Okay, what do we else do we have here? Let's see what the SPY is doing. The 1 day, 5 minutes here. Futures, ugly. Oh, looks like we got a fill. I didn't even notice. Okay, so I just scalped quickly for $30 here, I guess that was. I'm now trading, by the way, with 3 contracts instead of 2. I'm just increasing size as the position as the account size grows. Angelique says they tightrope on tech. They said, I don't know what that means. I think that was a typo. Ken says, thanks, man. I enjoy these daily shows. Thank you for showing up, man. Thank you for coming here and supporting me, you and everyone. Angelique, of course, Jeff, Anel, Jay Smooth, all the regulars that show up every time. Thank you so much, guys. Osby is always there. Jacob joined us for the first time today. Omega usually shows up, hasn't shown up today, but he's always around. Very supportive dude. So thank you guys so much. For allowing me to do this. Actually, I couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. And it's definitely a lot more fun trading with you guys than just doing it by myself. Omega, he's here. All right, that's awesome. All right, thanks, man. Osby, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Jacob, I'm Fugly. Hey, Fugly, how's it going, man? All right. See, a lot of regulars on Discord. Yeah, you guys have different names on YouTube, so I actually don't know who you are. I love you too, Omega. Thank you for all the support, brother. You've been there from day one. Thank you so much, man. All right, so back to our futures here. Hopefully, we're able to get a play before we end the stream. We still got 20 minutes, so we're fine, but we're not really getting a juicy moves here. So for the futures, a lot of chop, too much chop, as a matter of fact. It looks like we might go back and test 200 MA. If the 200 MA fails on the future, we can expect a big drop here. This will probably pull the SPY, and I mean, it is the SPY, so probably pull everything down with it. On the SPY itself, though, we're fine. Okay, so we broke through the level that we've been keeping an eye on, which is 347.7, and now we're testing it as resistance instead of support, right? So this is a good sign. If this fails as resistance, if this fails the retest, we can expect it to go down here to our target, 372.5. This is where I would, take puts. Leo, LP3. Hey, how's it going, Leo? How's it going, my good friend? All right. Let's see here. VIX, how's VIX doing? QQQ doing, of course, very bad, as to be expected. I think pretty much the only thing holding on the market right now, keeping us up, are the banks. VIX. Okay, VIX is starting to go down a little bit. That's something. But again, anything above 30 is not good for VIX. And all this, maybe we can excuse the volatility in VIX. Maybe it's because of the earnings, right? A lot of like very, very big earnings on Tuesday tomorrow. So that could be it. A lot of people probably buying SPY hedges, for their portfolio. Lots of fund managers, lots of people who hold a lot of shares. Maybe they're worried about like how they'll be affected. Of course, they'll be buying QQQ puts, but as a hedge, but also SPY puts work as well. So that could be a possible reason. This could be why we're seeing the volatility index pretty high, because we don't have any macroeconomical event that's coming up soon. FMOC on the 2nd of November, that's far. CPI even after that on the 11th. We have GDP coming up soon, I think, for the US. I think it's on Friday or something, Friday or Thursday, I don't remember. Uh, but beyond that, really, we don't have much going on other than earnings. Let's see here. How's Baba doing? Where's Baba? All right, so Baba bouncing a little bit. Like I said, guys, like again, not a sign to buy. This could be a bear flag here, but again, just keep in mind that like this is a very extremely oversold old sold stock at the moment, right? There will be some sort of bear rallies, but again, short. Unless we get a decent pullback here, risk to reward ratio for shorts, I'm just not seeing it. It's too risky. Banks starting to go a little bit red here, starting to lose some of their momentum. Retail doing okay. Walmart up 1.2%. Coca-Cola up 2%. I think Coca-Cola has earnings very soon. Either they already had them today or they're gonna have them like very soon. Hell is wrong with this chart? Yeah, the 25th tomorrow. They have the earnings tomorrow. Yeah, it's in the morning, right? So looks like people are extremely bullish on Coca-Cola, as they should be. I mean, like people are not gonna stop drinking Coca-Cola because it's a recession. It's Coca-Cola, right? Like, you know, I don't know what the implied move is, but I can definitely see Coca-Cola at least testing the 50 MA, if not the 200 MA. That's a 3 point move from here. That's probably 5% or something like that if it beats. So I don't see a reason why it wouldn't really. I don't think the economical events and the recession is that bad that Coca-Cola would miss. I think probably it beats. I mean, just look at this. Like, look at all these earnings. It just keeps beating, right? Beats, 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 beats. Like, this is all the way back. Like, this is COVID, guys. Like, this big drop is COVID. And since COVID, right? Oops, I shouldn't be saying that they're gonna demonetize my video, which is not even monetized. Since the sickness, I'm sorry, YouTube, since the sickness, it hasn't, it didn't miss a single earning, right? It's just like, it's Coca-Cola, right? So it's, I don't know, possible calls play here if you guys are interested for tomorrow. That's what I'm thinking. Uh, Strictly based off just what I said. Like I didn't put any more research, so just keep that in mind. AMC GME not doing well. Who cares? Uh, crypto was pumping on the weekend, but still so far stuck in the channel, specifically Ethereum. If we look here, look at this channel, stuck in it, unable to get out, just like AMD. Like, does this not remind you of AMD? Something that's very unaffected by the market. It moves a little bit down, moves a little bit up with the market, but overall it's still stuck in the channel. So this just tells me that like Ethereum, whatever pain it had, that's done. That's over with, and it's gonna make a big move, a very big move up or down very soon. Expectations are actually here. Once once we get to the crossover of this these trend lines here with this triangle, I think we're gonna get the move soon. So probably somewhere around uh November, right? Like end of October, early November, which makes sense because this is around the FMOC time, so makes sense that we get movements at that time. Ford giving back some of its gains. Uh Again, probably RAM because people are expecting good earnings. Jim Cramer loves Ford, so he could have, gotten out and said like buy Ford. He always does this before every Ford earnings. He's super into Ford. I guess they're paying him to promote it or something. Uh, let's see here. What else? DocuSign down 3%. Meh. PSNY. That's a penny stock. Who cares? They gave him pre 150. There you go. They gave him right after 150. That makes sense. Of course, that's why I keep singing their praises every earnings. God damn it. We need Kramer to say sell so we can pump. Yeah, he actually said buy on Friday. That's the problem. This is why we're getting all this. He said buy on Friday. I mean, we should have seen it coming at this point. Honestly, we can't blame anyone but ourselves. Verizon is up, right? Verizon is up 3%. They I mean, again, as I remember, they beat earnings and yeah, they beat earnings. I guess they have bad guidance or something, but looks like they're making it up looks like up 3%. Almost made up most of the losses they've had since earnings, so that's always nice. This is why we're seeing, the communication sector holding up well. Let's see here our SPY sectors. Let's see. Yeah. So consumer discretionary down 1.7%, communication down 0.66, industrial up 1%, real estate down 5%. I mean, it's real estate. I think there are real estate numbers coming out, home sales coming out this week too. That's something to keep an eye on if you guys want to short or long real estate. So SPY is starting to get mixed results here. So the financial sector, by the way, this is something I've actually been looking into, and we usually use the XLF. I know Angelique does because actually Angelique was the one who told me about XLF. So thank you very much, Angelique. But the problem with XLF is I think it's has a lot, like the biggest holding is Berkshire Hathaway, and it does not move like banks. So I think we need to find a different ETF to play when it comes to banks, or just play the banks themselves next time. Because if Berkshire Hathaway doesn't move, the banks don't really move that much with them. So something we should keep in mind. Energy up, that's not good. If energy is up, tech will probably go down soon. So this is not a good indicator. Technology, that's the equivalent of QQQ here, down a bit. It is really a very mixed bag here. It's an extremely mixed bag. We're not seeing anything. TNX, the treasury notes 10-year up almost it's trying to go back for the high here. That's definitely not good. Dollar looks like it's giving back some. No, actually it gave back a lot and regained the interesting. Let's see here. What's the SPY doing? So SPY, I wouldn't really call this a bear flag per se, because it's very small, but yeah, it seems like it's stuck here at this area. Looks like it's gonna be one of those days. Looks like it's gonna be a choppy day. We really need to see a breakdown of this here. If we see a breakdown of this here, then the next target is a 200 MA probably. I mean, first take profit will be 372, but then after that we get 200 MA. Let's have a look here. Probably plays quick scalp here at the low of the day, right? If it does break it. Okay, just going for a little quick scalp here. Hopefully it goes down, test the 372 level. All right, so that was a quick $60 scalp there, quick in, quick out. At least we took a trade, right? At least we did something. We're not taking any trades today, which is pretty boring. But it is what it is. Sometimes the market does that. Look at VIX. Just VIX keeps shooting up. This is definitely very bearish, guys. This is bearish. Probably gonna keep going up until it tests this 31.13 level here. But this is not a good look for VIX. Anywho, yeah, since I'm not seeing any plays so far, and we've already marked our levels and everything, and of course I'll be updating you guys in Discord in case anything shows up. But till then, unless anyone has any question or anything they would like to know, I think we'll probably end the chat and in the stream in the next couple of minutes, and then we'll jump into Discord. We're just gonna quickly go over everything that we're waiting for here in terms of plays. So for the SPY, looking for this to keep on, just like for this, sorry, looking for a break of this line here, 374.7, which we got. Probably goes down and tests 200 MA here. First take profit is a 372.5. VIX, again, probably market will keep going down until it hits the 31.13 level. And then we can expect, a little bit of a pullback. What else did we talk about? AMD, as long as it's within the channel, we're good. So if you guys are holding AMD, as long as we're between 59.9, say 60 and 56.5, we're cool. Again, you can expect a little fake breakdowns like these, no biggie. Don't get scared by them. Tesla is just like absolutely disgusting. It's down 7% now. Just horrible, horrible. Just totally lost the 203.5 line here, right? So the next line here I have for it is 197.6. It's a couple dollars away. Could be scalp if you guys are interested. Neo just obliterated the guy a lot. Like, look at this. This company lost a quarter of its value, right? A quarter of its value. The company's market cap is 16.3. How many billions did it lose today? This is just like absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. Tesla is killing me. See, that's why I don't trade Tesla, Angelique. It's a scary stock. It's a very, very scary stock. Looks like Apple broke the 200 MA here. Looks like it just gave up. Yeah, broke the 200 MA. Definitely not a good sign, but expect it to go back and retest before it breaks down even more. Netflix still not down as much as I want it to be. Again, I really want to see the test of 200 MA here. This will be an entry for me. Again, if it holds, just something to keep in mind. Banks definitely going red. That is not good. Coca-Cola losing a little bit of the steam. That's pretty much it, guys. So thank you so much for joining me. If you have not liked the video, please, guys, do like. It really helps a lot. Share if you can. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm gonna see you on the Discord. We'll see you right there. Cheers.